which there's members that are disposed to using bombs against other people, right? Okay, and so we'll just remove bombs from that society such that those people will be out of accord with their desires. Okay. Now, if we were in a society in which no one was disposed to seeing bombs and blowing other people up, utilizing them to blow other people up, then there's no point in banning it.
I mean, you can debate all of this, and like I think there's lines between where you're going to allow weapons and where you're not. But when it comes to things like text, you're essentially saying that the public can't handle the information, and I think that
Well,
that is a very
okay, no, but
dangerous
look,
position to put
Yeah,
us in.
well, okay, so if we can put this on pause. Jack was saying that a while ago about free speech, right? Or that's always his argument that there all these like sort of principles like that are just going to be incoherent, right? Because you could have like other values which are going to contradict the principles, and then such that if you like maintained yourself to the principle, you would be out of accord with your like own fundamental commitments, which would just make you irrational, right? Like if you had a choice between stopping someone's free speech or like allowing them to, I don't know, convince people to rape your family by not stopping their free speech, and you chose to like live up to your value of allowing people having free speech, then you would just allow them to cause people to rape your family or something.
Okay, I mean, if someone was like going and convincing people to rape my family, like I would probably go and like stop them convincing people and start to talk, like and say something. I would probably go into the police and make sure that they were
You're
prevented
not.
from going and raping my family and taking action. But I mean, I wouldn't like
You,
it,
you're
the
just
idea of banning
you're just
speech.
changing. You're just changing the hypothetical.
No, I'm not changing the hypothetical.
No, because the point is you have two options: stopping them from executing their free speech or letting them rape your family.
Okay,
So
so if someone is in imminent danger versus someone saying some words that are.
Speech and behavior.
you're not. Yeah, you're not understanding.
Yeah, I'm not understanding because they're not the same thing.
I didn't. What's the same? I didn't say anything was the same thing.
Yeah, you are. You're correlating like actual like physical harm with saying something that someone could interpret, and then you interpret to mean that they should then go and do something that is going to cause harm.
This is a way to understand it, Rise. Think about this. Imagine you're living in a society in which if you presented X factor, let's just call it X factor for right now, that they would all start breaking the law, murdering Jews. Okay, would you allow for that factor to exist if you had the capability of of controlling whether that factor exists? That's to say, would you allow the factor to exist in that society?
So you're saying that you would allow someone to talk, and then immediately people are going to start murdering and killing Jews left and right, and you can't do anything about
No,
it,
no,
but
no,
that
no,
would
no,
be
no, no.
immediate
Look,
danger.
I'm gonna be very impatient here. So you're just gonna have to answer my questions directly, or I'm gonna disengage. Okay? So there's an X factor. Okay, let's call it X factor. If I were to introduce it into society, millions of Jews would die. Okay? And would you, if you had and let's say that's the only consequence of that factor, nothing else, would you, Rise, allow for that factor to be present in society?
Just say yes, Ryan. It's very easy. Just say yes.
Shut up.
I would not allow it because it would be a physical.
Okay, is it possible that X factor could be a text? Is that possible?
No, it's not.
What's the contradiction?
The contradiction is that you need other variables there.
No, I've already set up the hypothetical such that if X factor is present, given all those variables, given all the societal and environmental pressures, that the change would be that millions of Jews would die.
So this is an incoherence.
Just say yes, Rise.
Okay, I think about it, Rise. I'll talk to you later about it. Okay.
Okay. You can go do that. That's a great argument against free.
So far, so good.
Yeah, we could talk more about it later. That natural selection discussion was fun.
Nice. Glad to hear it, Claire. Yeah, in fact, it's the best possible outcome. They suspended me in drug court, so I don't have to do any of their bullshit until this case is settled.
No way.
So I don't even have to go to treatment or any of that shit. But I'm not in trouble.
That's
Yo,
great.
Claire, do you hire lawyers when you go to court, or do you just show up?
Of course, I hire lawyers.
Um,
My lawyer's $1,000 an hour.
no.
Claire just rounds up some gypsies.
Is there a difference between the two?
Just tell him what I mean.
What do you mean? Tell them what I mean.
I don't know. Yeah.
What a
you're
shot.
Really, so it's suspended, but then will the obligation after the case has been settled, will that still remain?
I'll have to go back to drug court once it's settled, but they said it may not affect my time, so they might just
Nice.
consider it as
What?
like serving the time in the meanwhile. It's going to be
That's
up to them
amazing.
how they feel about the case. So that's what the judge said. I'm just telling you.
That's amazing.
Well,
What were the
that's-
stakes? What are the stakes for this other case?
Well, the other case is minor, but the drug court case, if they violate me on it for getting a new criminal conviction, it's up to 10 years in prison.
The
It's a minimum.
violating of drug court?
Yeah, because the case that I'm in drug court for was for a
Is-
10-year prison sentence.
Right, is a suspended sentence thing. Sounds like they're being real lenient.
I don't think they have much of a choice, given that someone's already contacted them and said that they're taking, responsibility for what was in my trunk, and I wasn't aware. I don't know. I don't think they could win a violation hearing, assuming that he follows through, which he will.
It's weed. I mean, I'm sure that the district attorney doesn't even care about weed at this point in whatever state he's at, because it's on the
Yeah,
ballot
that's
to make it legal. It's on the ballot to make it legal, like next year.
They extremely aggressively prosecute weed. Anything over 500 grams is an A felony. You know what else is an A felony? Murder. Manslaughter is a B felony. So having more than a pound of weed is worse than manslaughter.
Isn't that only federally? Or is
No,
it
that's
No.
Minnesota.
I'm so glad
Let me tell you how
that-
something works.
that
If you are
can't
the
be right.
district
I'm gonna look
attorney,
that up.
if you are the district attorney,
You don't
in
know
your
how it works, Sugar. You're nobody.
how it works. I'll tell you
Oh.
exactly how it works. If
You
you're an
don't know
elected
anything.
official,
You're not North Dakota, Sugar. Shut the fuck up, dude.
you're an elected top lawyer.
Norm,
You decide
you're not
how the
you don't
state
know
is
anything
prosecuting
about it.
people.
Oh my god.
For
Sugar.
Is there some
Washington
earthing
State,
to do, Sugar?
Sugar,
I
you're
love
like the
Washington
your
dumbest
voice,
human
Sugar,
being.
but I don't want to hear you.
You're like the
before
dumbest human
Washington
being that
State-
anyone knows. Why are you trying to do this?
His voice turns me on, but I just don't want to hear him speak stupid. Like, it's so annoying.
Before Washington State legalized weed, our district attorney stopped prosecuting weed cases for like 5 years before we.
Well, they
legalized it.
haven't done that here, so that's fantastic, dumb fuck.
I think they're very selective about it here.
They're not selective at all here.
Don't mind Claire. She's going on the chain gang soon.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
It just depends
haven't
on
kept
what
up.
your state's laws. They're bringing in a lot of income into those departments. They
That-
continue aggressively until it's legal. That's what they did in my state.
I mean, what is it? I think you can have up to 2 ounces here, and it's minor charge. If they even charge it.
Are you in New York? Where are you at?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
There was some kind of decriminalization that went on, and I think it's up to 2 ounces. Which is a lot. Anyway.
Thank you for yelling at him, Claire. And congrats on your court.
Wait, why'd you say congratulations? What happened? What, is Claire not going to jail or what? Hello, can I be heard?
Sorry, I got a phone call. If anyone was talking at me, I didn't mean to just stop in.
So wait, are you going to jail or what?
It appears to be not the case.
Not today.
That's unfortunate for everyone here.
What's the
You
minimum
don't.
thing that's
You
gonna happen
don't.
to you?
You don't mean that, Josh. What was what? What?
What's the minimum thing that could happen to you?
Nothing's gonna happen to me, presumably. Either nothing's gonna happen to me, or I'm gonna go to prison for at least 3 to 5 years. Those are the two.
I definitely, I guess I don't want you to go to jail, but I definitely never want you to come around here again. So.
But why, Josh? You know you find me entertaining at times.
No, that's never been the case.
You act as if you do.
Oh shit!
You entertain me in conversations. Fuck, you've borderline
Joy-
hit on me at times. What are you talking about?
Oh fuck!
Joy is a foreign concept to Josh.
So is it like you'd fuck me, but you also hate listening to me talk? Is that the situation?
I wouldn't fuck you.
Okay.
Wait, how can a concept be foreign?
It's unknown. I don't know. Maybe it can't be.
Jay, did you remember what the case was earlier with Kathy?
No, when I mentioned the bionics, somebody posed that there was a person that didn't have any eyes.
Could have sworn it was something with the sense. Well,
or a mouth or ears. No, didn't have any arms either. I don't even remember what the scenario's about. And then they gave them bionic arms and bionic eyes, and I don't remember what the point of it was. But I'm wondering if that's what you were talking about.
I don't recall.
It was something about not having any sense of stimulus and then having it.
No sense of stimulus?
No senses for stimulus.
Oh, force.
Yeah, no way of... I don't remember who it was even, or what their point was. I remembered it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you talking to? Alex, who the fuck are you talking to?
Jay.
Jay?
Yeah. You have him muted or something?
Oh,
JJ.
JJ.
JJ, not Jay.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why someone would mute JJ. It's such a high value interlocutor.
It's
I know.
true.
Oh, well, now
carry
it's...
this place.
I thought you were talking to Orson because Orson kept lighting up and then I wasn't hearing him. I was like wondering if I had to like reconnect.
Yeah, you should try disconnecting first.
See, Orson is lighting up now. Is he not talking? Nobody hears him?
Hi, Rainey.
The cable's all dodgy on it now. I wanted to know what a foreign concept was.
A
Hey,
foreign
Orson.
concept is a concept
Hey,
that a foreign concept is a concept that has an ethnicity, so that means it's a concept in
No,
China.
it's just unknown, Yuri.
No, I'm joking. I'm being facetious.
Are you sure it's unknown? I thought it'd just be from a external source.
Unfamiliar.
It could,
Yeah,
you
unfamiliar.
could
Yeah.
maybe.
But you guys said that there were no foreign concepts. I just wondered what you meant by that.
Who said that?
You both did.
I didn't say that.
You said, I guess there would be no foreign concept. That's like pretty much a direct quote.
No.
Well, that's what triggered me to answer the question.
That's not what I said, though.
Yeah, you caught JJ in like some form of psychosis, so he doesn't remember.
Do you think concepts can be foreign?
I don't have a view on the matter.
Oh, That's boring.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're describing.
Foreign
foreign
concept
as
just
being.
means something you don't run into every day or something, Orson.
I was hoping it was something more than that when they said that concepts cannot be foreign.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just talking shit.
Yeah, if all someone means is that a concept you don't run across every single day, right? Then sure. But if they mean something else by that, then I don't have a position on it.
Hi, Layla.
Orson, what have you been up to?
Not much. I've been just work and hanging
Want to
out with
hear my
friends.
dog panting? Listen.
I can hear.
That's hot.
Not really.
Wait,
What's
is that is that a new dog or something, Layla?
Oh, it's like my family dog.
What sort of dog is it?
It's a chocolate lab.
It's got a hefty pant on it.
Yeah, we're headed to the lake. We're like almost there. I think she can sense it.
Oh, what are
Orson.
you wearing right now, Layla?
Layla, I'm gonna post the picture of you and your dog for Orson.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we'll post the one with Seamus's.
The uncropped one. I'll post the uncropped.
Oh, so that is your dog in the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't rent a dog? I hear
Cute.
that's in vogue.
Where's the? Oh, that. Actually, that's the one where Dio's in it also.
Dio is in the. That's so good. Actually, that's really good. I like that. But yeah, that's a really nice photo. Other than that, such a perfect way to position Dio.
Yeah, penis tooth.
Isn't she cute?
Yeah, she is cute.
Yeah.
The
Look how
dog's quite
happy
nice
she
as
looks
well.
in that photo. She's so happy. She's such a happy dog.
Fucking raised version.
There you go, Ray.
Fuck, man. Layla, you look really happy in that photo as well.
I am happy when I'm with animals.
What's the name of the dog?
That's why you come here.
Tell me the name. I want to
wanna
dox
say.
you.
I can
Why
DM
is
it
it?
to you.
I will find your
That dog
location.
has a social security
She's
number.
got a famous dog. She's got a.
What is this next level paranoia here lately? Like, holy fuck. Can't tell you the name of my dog.
The dog's called Fido. Oh fuck, they're onto me.
I just have
thought maybe
high
the
levels
dog's name
of
was
paranoia
embarrassing.
about doxing.
That's
It's a-
very apparent, Layla.
It's a
Wow.
chocolate lab. It's a female chocolate Labrador. So let's guess.
Okay,
right?
guys. My dog's name is Stuka. Find me.
Remember when
Layla.
you banned me for 2 weeks or 3 weeks for not having your dog?
Layla, have you called it
I
something?
remember that.
Have you called it Cadbury?
Layla's just getting confused between docs
Just
and
one
dogs.
sec.
Wait.
I'm
Have
getting
you called
dogs.
it? Have you called it Cadbury or like Snickers or something?
Hershey.
Yeah, Hershey.
Sometimes we call her Bugs.
Bugs.
Booger.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
know where
great
that
name.
started.
Do you ever call her
Dog's
Turd
name is
Burglar?
Booger. Turd burglar.
Yeah.
Or burgled turd, maybe.
I'm surprised everyone missed this. Layla is heading to the lake, right? And we haven't found out like what Layla is actually wearing.
Shut the fuck up, Yuri.
Full burqa.
Full burqa.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to my imagination. I'm sure it's better.
I can't imagine Layla in a full burqa.
No, more like
Why
a
would you?
bikini or something. It's like a bikini and a sun hat.
She's like a more attractive sugar as a boy.
Sugar, I feel like, would be one of the people that I'd invite to the cottage. I feel like he'd be fun at a lake party.
Ooh, that's fucked up. Yeah, he'll be shimmying all over the place.
He'd be the life of the party.
From Darth Titties. You've been invited to a server, Ancient Near East and Biblical Dialogue. 3 online, 15. Oh, that sounds like a fucking party.
I accepted it.
The fuck?
I'm a 15
Okay.
member.
First.
Jesus. Yeah, it's too many servers.
She has a really sore hip because she is like an older lab. So I have to try and keep her from swimming too much. It's really sad.
Good old hip dysplasia. That's what you get for keeping that dog alive too long.
What? She's not even that old.
Or
She
just buying
has
an inferior breed, which is more likely the
a bunch of medium-sized dogs have hip problems.
Yeah, a bunch of medium-sized dogs have shit genetics.
Oh, yeah. Leela, what do you think? Your dog wants to stay alive with all that pain?
Yeah, she's so happy. You want to see her right now? 1 sec, I'll take a picture.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I think German Shepherds have hip problems usually. You shouldn't keep them alive very long either.
Never mind. She doesn't want her picture taken. She's really camera shy, actually.
She doesn't want to be doxxed.
Exactly.
Doesn't want to be doxed.
No.
What's up, JJ?
Oh, what up? What's good? What you think?
I just I don't know. I just got set up to do some work today. I had no plans specifically.
What up, blood?
Kind of wish there was a way that like you could press a button and all the people in voice who hadn't talked in the last 15 minutes would like temporarily disappear.
Yeah, I wish there was a button where people who haven't been here for the past 3 months would disappear also.
Oh shit. I sound okay?
That's some Thanos shit, Orson.
Sound fine.
Real dark.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
I wish we had a button we could push that every person that hadn't said an interesting comment in the last minutes would be ejected.
Does your boyfriend really wish I wasn't on the server, Godless? I think I'm rather entertaining.
I think he thinks you're entertaining.
Yeah, I think he
would
does
be
too.
very Claire, but I don't think he would be very entertained by it. Oxycontin. Who's that?
Oh no, I'm not talking about him. He just made a comment earlier that he
what?
didn't want me to go to prison, but he doesn't want me to ever come to the server again. And I thought he was being dishonest there.
He was. He's just a filthy liar.
I missed
Did he put you-
something.
Yes, you did.
How was court, Claire?
Good.
Catching. She was caught.
Was it the results you wanted to
It was exactly
see?
the results I was hoping for. Drug court
Which is?
was holding judgment until the case that I have open concludes, which
Mhm.
it will conclude favorably because the person responsible for the drugs that were in the trunk of my car is going to be turning himself in on Monday and taking full responsibility. So they'll have to drop the charges against me.
I can't believe that
As they should.
drug
Right.
court will be suspending your time, though. That's or I'm sorry, not suspending your time.
Well, they are suspending me, and they may decide to not count the time in the interim. He said the judge is going to make that determination later based on certain things. But he said as long as I keep on attending NA and meeting with my sponsor and going to my probation officer every week, he may consider calling that time elapsed.
I guess that makes sense.
Because the only thing I'm not allowed to do is go to treatment, because he said it would be considered a safety issue if I happen to be a drug dealer, which obviously I'm not.
Hmm.
Obviously.
Do you realize they do record everything on here? So someone can easily send.
But I'm not a drug dealer, and anything I might have said to the contrary was just LARPing. Because I enjoy attention.
You're just an
Right.
attention whore.
Brenda, your mic.
That's good.
I never ran into such chill here before. I like it.
Shut up.
You shut up, fuckface.
Alexicon, give us some new ideas.
There's just new words, not really new ideas. We developed a new antagonist called Antitheus, Antitheus with a silent T. I now say Homo sapiens. Just stupid words. I don't think there's a big idea. Oh, let me look. Let me check my text
I don't
files.
understand what you just said, but can you say something that requires depth to think to say?
Well, what?
If
Something
you
that
didn't
requires
understand what he
depth to
said,
say.
does
Okay,
that
okay,
imply
okay.
that
We'll go
it
back.
does require depth?
Yeah, I think so. We'll go back to a recent statement that's very famous in the future, which is just the change up from the statement "in time of peace, prepare for war" to the statement "in time of peace, prepare for more." It takes depth just to find that, because you're so trapped in just imagining that other people's sayings actually fucking matter
I'm not following.
so much. Well,
not
you probably.
following.
Yeah, I'm very fast and agile, so I'm sorry. And I
You're
spent a lot of
fast and
time. I spent a lot of time
fast
out of my
and
mind where
Sure.
every fucking idea. Why do you keep talking under me? Do not undertalk me. I'm a citizen.
Under what?
You're
Do not
fast
talk.
and agile.
Do not talk under werewolf.
What?
You're an under werewolf.
He said underwear. Nah.
You did.
I wish I were a little bit genitaler. So I ran into the first the other night. I was sitting at the cafe and recording a podcast with 3 friends, and this really interesting small character walked into the scene, and it turns out it's like the first time in my entire life that I've met a person who was trans and had no idea and didn't in any way care, and I had no like extra thoughts, like because I don't understand anything, let alone people who are in non-ambiguous situations, and then I found out this person was a rapper, and by the name of Lab Rat, and asked if they battled, and I got like super viciously attacked, and it was absolutely spectacular. And that, well, it was a great. I met the first trans person that I ever met that was just a person to me, and then that person savagely
What does
attacked
any
me.
of this mean?
Yeah, we're like.
This guy's always like this.
There's a lot of gender talk in here. There's a lot of different types of people in here, and I'm basically a laser straight person who it took some years to adjust and be comfortable with all people, especially people I'd never spent any fucking time around.
I
So
mean, is this like look, buddy? You're like virtue signaling about meeting a trans person and not beating them with a sock full of doorknobs. That's what you're supposed to do, okay?
I just learned. So talk shit about me for learning. Why not?
Tom, be nice to the new people.
Tom doesn't like me at all. I'm a little bit too big, and I think Tom might be a little bit, too small.
So this guy quoted himself as he said, this, and I quote. He said, "I don't understand anything." I would add that to the quote bot, but he's just too irrelevant to be added to the quote bot, even with a staggeringly stupid comment like that. Is I don't understand anything.
I am losing respect by the second. Justifiably
Because you're
so.
retarded.
Oh damn.
That's rude.
Would hate to have that happen.
worse. Jeez.
Losing respect.
I mean, I'm here to be scapegoated for all of y'all. If it was real quiet. If you want to just attack a person for saying that they'd adapted a little bit more in life from a town that was super fucking white and conservative, like, fine, attack people.
How are we supposed to infer that from anything that you've said so far?
Because I told a story about evolution really quickly, and I was like, go fuck yourself. What does that have to do with anything?
We were supposed to infer from a story about evolution that you live in a tiny white town.
Obviously, if I was the first time I was fully comfortable around, like 100% comfortable around a trans person, I didn't grow up around all different types of people, right?
Personal evolution.
I'm not a bigot foot.
Well,
what?
A bigot foot.
There's people in here that know that I'm brilliant, so whoever wants to be an asshole can go fuck themselves.
No one actually thinks you're brilliant. You always say that there's people in here that think you're brilliant.
People
all
say it.
All that it is people in here think you're good at puns. That doesn't make you brilliant. That means you have a stupid, useless.
Well,
doesn't
there
make
is
you
some
not
brilliance
brilliant
involved.
at all.
Alexicon,
I think that's a very strong word.
clarifying question though. Well, you want to define intelligence later?
I'll say
the rate at which you integrate
you said
and
something,
utilize.
I'm just not. I don't like that. You said something that needs clarification. You said you're losing respect by the second or something. Did you mean you are losing respect for or losing respect of?
Losing respect for the person who was extending her fucking disrespectful sentences.
I got it.
Towards an unknown quantity.
Okay.
The school doesn't have
unknown
128 terabytes of RAM installed in her brain. It's a hashtag absolute fact. And that person was talking shit to me first. Fact. Again.
The quantity need not be known other than that it's a non-zero amount, correct?
Yeah.
It's not too high.
Well,
Nobody talks that much shit to me that fast and is also super fast. It just has never happened. I don't say I'm a fucking genius. I said thousands of people said it to me. And Claire, you can say they're all fake and I'm lying. I don't give a shit.
So
I
wait,
hope that your
thousands of
troubles go
people
away.
in here. Thousands of people in here said it to you.
In this room, there's only fucking 60
Are you
people.
okay in the head, bud?
No, he's not.
I'm actually extraordinary. Why would you doubt that? Because you're just fucking like skeptical predators against internet citizens? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What did I say? What did I say? A pun?
Citizens.
I hear if you leave this guy on long enough, he'll eventually write Shakespeare.
You really imagine how fucked I'd have to be and how cruel you'd be being to someone who was autistic as fuck. If I just recorded 30,000 hours of the internet as a fucking mentally ill fucking piece of shit, and then I got trashed by the internet every day because apparently you think I'm mentally ill. That's sick as fuck.
No.
You're inconsistent
most of these people are mentally ill themselves, so Don't worry.
Shut up.
Including yourself, Rainy.
I mean, obviously, but I don't say that to them like that.
Yeah, I just
Jesus
have
Christ,
to tolerate it.
I'm fucking mentally ill, but I don't sound as lunatic, stupid as this guy.
Well, wait. Let me ask you one thing. How would you know? How would you know from 2 puns if I'm a genius or if I'm fucking dumb?
You're not dumb.
When you're too slow to understand, son.
Rainy always sniping.
Okay, don't talk to me. Shut the flip up.
Yeah.
Rainy's mentally retarded because she's a Muslim.
Shut the fuck up
Listen,
while I was
you got-
talking shit to Rainy.
Stupid chav.
Uh-oh.
I'm not
Don't
Chav.
give a flip.
Rainy's my
Also, you are a
daughter's
Chav.
internet friend.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
Well,
are.
at least everyone needs one internet friend, so congrats. So,
Molly,
do
you're
you mind if
you're
you
so
can...
angry all the
Oh,
time.
Rainy, love.
Rainy, darling, be quiet.
Do you want a
Don't
hug?
overtalk Molly.
Do you want
Yes,
a
I
hug,
would like a hug.
darling?
Yes, I do actually
Yeah?
want a hug. I'm
You want
tired.
a
I'll
hug?
hug you,
Well,
Rainy.
then, okay, go ahead and get off Discord and find someone willing to hug you. Good luck.
There are plenty of people on Discord that would be willing to hug Rainy. I
Well,
think.
you
Are
know
you
what?
willing,
There you
Layla?
go. You're
the vest
fantastic. You know, you and
Yeah,
Layla,
Rainy, I
go
give you a
fucking
hug.
hug it out.
Come get a hug, Rainy.
Hug it out, darlings.
We'll have a lovely group hug.
Group hug.
Can I be invited?
No,
Right, JJ.
no
that's
chavs
just
allowed.
wee bit.
Jesus.
Double hug.
Yeah, just went a little further.
I don't know where you got this Chav idea from.
You sound like one.
No, I'm just northern.
Orson is very well spoken. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Shut up,
Sounds
Rainy.
like the average. Oh my god, oh, this guy.
Oh, the average
No,
what,
finish
Rainy?
that thought. Finish the thought. He
Yeah,
sounds
finish
like
that
the
thought,
average
Rainy.
what?
The average chav I know.
What?
He absolutely does not.
He
They
does
sound like they're
not.
talking with a mouthful of marbles.
Yeah.
Like they have fucking Down syndrome. He sounds
And,
nothing.
and they're like squatting mid sentence. Like no.
I thought there were northern chavs.
There were.
Yeah, they
I mean,
still
there
sound
are.
retarded. They don't sound clear spoken and eloquent.
Yeah, they sound like they have a jet engine. Like
At least I
inside their
sound
mouth.
eloquent.
Well, maybe we need to be specific on what we mean by chav.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rainy.
I'm just an American.
Let me
all I
send
know
you
of-
a video.
Rainy, you're from London.
Yeah, so
Okay.
She's Somalian though, Orson.
she's Somalian. There's no such thing as Somalian. It's Somali.
Somali. There you go. Fuck.
Somalian.
Somalian.
Salami.
She's the person that picks out your wine at a fancy restaurant.
What? What did he say?
I can tell by your confusion that you've never been to a nice restaurant.
What's
No.
that word for a wine connoisseur?
Wine connoisseur.
No, it's a one word.
Sommelier.
There, thank you.
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
It's the person at the restaurant that tells you what.
Is it sommelier?
That's the
Okay.
American
that's-
pronunciation.
Sure.
Whose phone is that?
Mine, sorry.
Can you not? Yeah, thank you.
Sorry?
Can you not? Thank you.
Don't share my
Can you
text.
not
Rainy.
what? I'll mute it, hold on.
Yeah, you should meet it. That'd be smart.
Okay, go and talk to someone else.
I'm debating whether or not to go into Darth's room while he's not there. Which is right now.
Whew.
Godless.
Hi. Josh, I thought I was so cool because I discovered that Matt Bell. I was the one that first recalled that Matt Bell G plus Avatar Freddy Krueger thing. But Josh told me you guys already knew about that yesterday. How come nobody told me that you already knew about that yesterday? Why'd you guys let me think I was cool?
You are cool there, Godless.
Exactly. It's
Did
because
you-
you are
I-
cool,
I-
Godless.
I
Yeah,
explained
'cause it
to
was
you
already-
though. It wasn't until you mentioned it that I actually
No,
looked
Josh
at
showed
it
me
and
screenshots.
so no, but let me. I actually knew he had the Freddy Krueger thing, but until you mentioned it, I didn't realize it was his face superimposed on it.
Maybe you, Molly, but
Oh yeah, no.
so you're not guilty. But there's a lot of people here who knew about it yesterday who were just like letting me believe that I was just had discovered it. Why'd you guys do that?
Did you present it as your original thought?
No,
well, I
Godless,
said,
Godless,
"Hey
I never
guys,
thought
remember
that,
this?" And nobody, like, as if I had
I
just
never
discovered
thought that
it.
you discovered it. What are you saying? You just found that out? You knew that a long time ago too. What's
You're
I'm
just
confused.
saying,
What's going on?
did anybody else remember it? But you, of course, remembered it.
Right. I thought I
From
was the first one
yesterday.
to remember it.
No,
But
I
Tom had posted
I
it
remember that
yesterday.
picture.
Tom had Josh showed me a screenshot. Tom had already noticed that yesterday about the avatar, and you guys let me like believe like a retard that I was the original one to recall it.
Why
Just thought
would
you had a bad memory.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
I wasn't around when anyone else brought it up.
Look, no one can
Wasn't
hold
listening.
a former habitual drug user responsible for having poor memory.
I
That's
remember.
fine. No one was mad. No one's judging you.
No, I was bitching about you guys letting me believe that
I can't always
falsely.
remember my own name.
Oh, you mean you're bitching about nobody saying, "Yeah, Godless, everybody remembers that, you stupid bitch"? Is that what you were
Yeah.
expecting? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a fucking given, you stupid bitch.
We'll be more charitable next time.
Wait, am I taking things too personally?
No, she wants you to be less charitable next time.
Yeah, so we'll be less charitable in order to be more charitable next time.
Yes, you are, Alex Con. You're taking things entirely too personal. This is just the nature of the beast here. Except for Rainy.
Rainy, you're a dump truck.
Sorry.
Dump truck.
Pardon?
You're
I
a dump
missed
truck,
that.
Rainy.
Molly say?
Molly said that you're a dump truck.
Oh, thanks.
I'd like to fill
You
that.
know, the only scene I remember from any Freddy Krueger movie I've ever seen is that when the poor little girl is trying to stay awake in the bathtub because if she falls asleep, Freddy Krueger's gonna get her in her dreams. So she's trying to stay awake in the bathtub. She's been awake for days, but she passes out in the bathtub. And then in between her legs, when she falls asleep, up creeps the fucking Freddy Krueger hand with the slicer razor things on it.
Yeah, Gigi, just letting you know I posted that about 5 hours ago,
Who's that?
just for your consideration, since you want us to remind.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, John.
John's here.
We just posted some weed.
And to
Oh,
clarify,
JJ.
I
Would
did
you
not
guys be
call
posted some
Rainy a jump
serviceable
truck
marijuana.
because that's something that is actually of use to people.
Rick.
Molly just said she didn't call Rainy a dump truck.
Right, because that's dump trucks are useful, and she would never cast this kind of aspirations before Rainy.
It looks
fuck
really
what-
fresh.
It looks, yeah, it looks like it was bagged a little bit wet. In the
Right?
back.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too. Looks moist, very moist.
Yo, JJ, I'm gonna do some writing. Will you call my name if I'm needed for anything, bro?
Yes, definitely.
John,
Ping-
post a
ping
picture of
your
your
ass.
cheap pen so I can laugh at their in color.
Claire is insinuating that dump trucks are more useful than uteruses.
I think they are.
No, those carts, all those carts look 100% legit. Like we get a lot of fake carts around here in North Carolina, but those look legit.
Oh, hey, Shamus.
What
Pretty much every cart you get around here is just like a preloaded cart that they just put stuff in. You know, it just has the look to it.
I make my own carts, and mine are
It's
better
not to
than-
say that they're bad because a lot of people make them. You know, you just get a bunch of extract, you know, and then you fill a bunch of the carts up and stuff. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad.
Yeah,
but,
what's bad is branding them as a brand that they're not, which I don't do. I sell mine unbranded.
I mean, I was told that you can look by by many people that you could look just by the gradient of how fast the bubble travels if you flip it
If
upside
it's
down
cut or not. Yeah, it should barely move or not move.
or not move at all. Yeah,
And it should be a
So
thin, clear yellow. Like these are my carts, and
What
these
do
are
you do to the oil? Like, why is it
The-
so runny? How do you get it
these.
so?
They're not runny. It
it's
shouldn't be
cut
runny.
down.
See,
It's
no,
cut
it
with
shouldn't be
CBD.
cut. Listen. If you want a
Yeah,
good
but
cart,
even
what
the
you
best
take?
honey oils.
Are you gonna listen, Ludic?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want the highest quality carts, what you do is take pure distillate, and then you put 99% distillate and 1 to 2% terpene mix. You heat it at about 130 degrees for about 30-40 minutes. Then you dispense it in your carts. That'll be very thick. The bubbles won't really move in it. It won't be thin, and it'll be the highest possible purity. That's what like the higher end dispensary carts like Brass Knuckles do. Now some people will take like 60% distillate and then like 40% propylene glycol or PEG 400 or something like that, and then that's what produces those dark, murky looking carts that take a lot of hits to get you high and taste like shit. But that's the difference. High quality carts have nothing but distillate and terpenes in it.
This is detailed LARPing.
Yeah, it's detailed like that.
Yeah, like I've gotten one real pen, like legit real pen, and the consistency is so much different from the fake shit around here.
It makes me so happy that Seamus is here.
Who was that, Orson?
Hey. Like I've
Was that
been
Orson?
Yeah, I've been off for like a couple of months, and then to see that you're back around here is good.
Now, mind you, all these cart pictures are computer generated.
I mean, I missed you, Orson. Most
nothing to
most
do
of the
with
time, I don't miss motherfuckers, but for some reason, I missed you.
Yeah, you're just great.
Orson's good people.
Yeah, I'm liked.
Yeah, Orson, glad to see you around.
It's good to be back, I guess.
How long have you been gone?
A month or two, I guess. I don't even know.
Yeah, probably closer to 2.
Yeah, Orson reminds me of myself. That's why I like him.
No, I think Orson was a lot more humble than I was at his age. Like, so yeah, he doesn't remind me at all of myself, but I still like him. But that's probably because I don't like myself. No, I'm joking.
I don't know about the humility.
I'm trying to find a backup of the picture I took of my carts next to some supposed dispensary carts, just to give a context of the difference in quality. But I don't
Who is interested in what Claire is posting?
It was completely relevant
I
to
am.
the conversation.
Keep
You
talking,
bet.
because when I get
Okay.
ready to make that decision, Claire, I will laughingly let you know.
Claire, maybe you could just send it to Molly in DMs.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
but
the
then
only
I'm
person
not. I'm not.
talking about this
Yeah,
topic. You've heard you
and I
singing.
thank you not to go ahead and keep that in voice because I'm not really reading my DMs right now, so or my side chat. So I
Like,
really
have you not
appreciate
been
you
paying
just kept
attention
it
to
in
the
voice.
conversation at all, Layla? Do you just come in mid-conversation with no clue what the context is and complain about the pictures in general?
Well,
I
okay, so
was
since
listening
Layla is here,
before.
though, I did have a question for Layla. What color did you paint your dog's toenails?
Oh, I did paint my dog's toenails
Yeah,
once
I
upon
know.
a time. How do you
Yeah,
know?
because you're you.
Because he just Lydia gamed you, and he was right.
Wow, that was crazy. Yeah, when I
Wow,
was
it's
like,
crazy that she thinks it's crazy.
Okay,
don't
so
wanna talk about
here, circled is my cart, one of my carts, and then in those packages are all the supposed dispensary carts. And just take a look at the difference in clarity between.
Well, look, hey Claire, the fake carts we get down here are not dark, but they're junk. You know, they're like
sucks.
they're like an amber, they're like a light amber or something like that.
Your fakers are better than the ones up here then, because they should be the exact color of the one that's circled.
Yeah, they're close to that color. They might be just a touch lighter.
See,
but
John
they're
John's
close,
looks like
but they're
crap
no
in that
good.
picture. Like that red color, that's not fucking pure distillate at all. That looks like someone took some shatter liquidizer and just put Here, I'll show you what shatter liquidizer is.
Yeah, that one does look a little suspect, and the dank carts are almost all fake.
Yeah, dank carts are the most common fake brand.
Are they really?
Yeah, I bought a lot of dank carts in my day, so I know, and I just found out the hard way. I was like, oh god.
You can get a dank package for like 30 cents. You can do the same with Smart Cart, same with Mario Kart, same with almost any of the big names. So you just fill your own cart and
The most
put it in
common
there.
around here are Mario Karts and dank, and sometimes we get these ones called cookies.
It's a good game, man.
What is shatter distillate or shatter liquidizer?
Okay, so shatter is like a wax, like honey, like that's relatively
Yeah.
thick, and it's fairly pure, but it's not on the level of distillate. So what you do to make cheap carts is you just take a bunch of shatter and you melt it down in a liquidizer, which is a certain mix of propylene glycol and a couple other chemicals, and it makes it runny enough to be run through a cart. But those carts will be dirty and inferior quality because the liquidizer itself is a diluent. So you're automatically lowering the purity just by adding the liquidizer.
But what is it though? Some
Oh
kind
shit! Look who just
What
walked
is
in. It's
shatter?
John Gishgala. What did we used to call him back in the day on G Plus? I can't remember. What was his name? JJ.
He's been around lately, in and out.
Yeah, what was his name on G Plus? I can't remember.
J-Dubs.
J-Dubs.
So I'm looking for some average quality shatter to give you context. If you just Google shatter, you're going to see almost nothing but really good examples because most people don't put the average grade on the internet.
J-Dubs found himself a wife. Got himself a Jewish wife.
It's better said that he purchased a Jewish wife.
Well, could be. I mean, acquired
No,
by whatever
you
means.
always purchase Jewish wives, dude.
So this is average shatter.
Ask John how much cash he had to pay to her dad, and then we'll find out how much of a hottie she really is.
Well, it's her in the picture. She doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I've seen shatter before, and it's like hard candy.
Right, it's called shatter because it's supposed to shatter like glass at room temperature if you were to like hit it against the table or drop it or something.
But
it's just one.
It's a little warm.
Well, it doesn't have. Oh, if it's a little warm, yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to though. Like they grade shatter's quality by how it behaves. Like shatter is only BHO that's rock hard, and then under that it's what they call pull and snap, which is firm, but it'll stretch before it breaks if you're pulling or twisting it. Then under that is say honey oil. Then under that is crumble or wax.
This is all just a matter of the moisture content in it.
Well, it's not just that. The thing that's sticky in marijuana is the THC, right? So the higher the THC and the less moisture, plant wax, terpenes, CBD, and other chemicals are present, the more it's going to adhere to itself molecularly, so the harder. So it's not just water content, it's any adulterant. And the worst adulterant for making it soft is actually butane that hasn't been purged, because butane is a solvent that keeps it in a runny state.
This is why I was wondering what the shatter liquidizer was, what kind of solvent it was.
It's just like there are various proprietary mixes of propylene glycol and other e-cig juice, basically. Like you can just buy straight up propylene glycol and then heat it up to like 120, 130 degrees and stir shatter into it, and at the right mixtures it'll be usable in e-cig. It's just not going to taste good. And it's going to eventually clog the wicks of whatever you're putting into, because shatter isn't sufficiently filtered to be passing through an e-cig system without contaminating the wick system, which is the point of the distillation process. You should really only be making carts with distillate, not shatter. Shatter is ghetto.
You're just a druggie.
Ludic, rosin and distillate are extracted the same way. They're both pure heat extractions. It's just distillate uses a series of stage filtration gates to separate the different oils. So usually a distillate machine will have like 3 different containers, right? And into one will go the terpenes, into one will go the CBD, and into one will go the THC. And then all the plant material will be left in the core of the machine. What the hell is that?
Shut up, Claire Nevins here.
Shut up, Claire.
It
Yeah.
doesn't use any solvents?
No, it doesn't. It's heat distillation, just like you distill alcohol, which is how rosinating works too. Rosinating uses pressure.
So you're
There's-
telling me, so what do you do with your, okay, you have a bunch of buds, explain from that point forward.
There are distillate machines where you can just put a bunch of ground bud in the middle. They're usually expensive. More commonly, people will do a BHO extraction and then make distillate by putting the BHO into the rosinating machine. But none of the BHO or other contaminants will make it through not the rosinating machine, the distillate machine. None of the BHO will make it through the distillation process into the finished product. It'll all be trapped because it all separates at different temperatures. And BHO evaporates at a much lower temperature than THC does.
Well, yeah, the THC is the compound that's in the whatever the fuck it is.
Right. To your question,
The oil.
Your
resin.
question, Nevin, the trichomes are just sacks of THC. That's all a trichome is. It's a little sack full of THC oil that the plant produces.
Look at the science.
What am I wrong about, Nevin? I'm reading your chat. Go ahead and tell me what I've been making extracts since like 2008, so I'm pretty comfortable on this.
Is she even in here?
She's talking in chat, so
Yeah,
I'm waiting
she's
for
not
her to
listening
explain.
you, though. How could she be listening to you?
Oh, she isn't. What the fuck is she even talking about? I barely even said anything in chat. How could she know if I'm wrong about it?
What the fuck is going on here?
Hey, look, it's Kathleen.
No.
Oh no.
Hold on a second. Okay, there we go.
Okay, shoot.
Maybe I misheard you. I don't know. Well, I was also wondering, why didn't you mention like butter in your list of like top extract?
It wasn't a list of top extracts. It was just a list of the gradient of extracts based on their consistency. Butter.
Oh, I thought it
with
was.
two D's.
I thought it was
Butter
like
with-
THC percentage.
Well, that directly correlates to the state of the extract. So butter is going to be somewhere around the same quality as honey oil in terms of its THC content. It's going to have a little bit more water and a little bit more plant material than honey oil. And both
Talk
of them,
when you make it with butane.
however you make it, you can make it with supercritical CO2 extraction. You can make it with butane. You can make it with butter. Is just a state of extract consistency, just like any other state of extract.
Yeah, isn't it essentially taking shatter and just whipping it, right? Kind of, sort of.
No, it's just stages beneath shatter. It's just shatter with more CO2 and water inside of it, which makes it squishable. You can't whip shatter. Shatter is like glass. If you try to whip shatter, you're just gonna.
That was the wrong thing. I mean, when it's like at the sort of squishy, like semi-liquidy.
Well, that's either honey oil or wax, depending. So this is what you're referring to when you say butter, which is just a transitory state between wax. It's had more of the contaminants.
Yeah, see,
purged
the butter
than the wax.
that I've seen doesn't look like that.
Well, there's going to be all kinds of varieties based on how much plant materials in it, how it's processed, whether it's supercritical CO2 or it's Like here's another example. This one's probably supercritical CO2. Oh, file's too big. I got to find a smaller one.
Where do you live, by the way, Claire?
Wherever.
Like what general area? Like Midwest, South, Canada? Like
I have places in California in the mid. So this is probably CO2 by its coloration.
What did you just post, Ludic?
Is Angelo in here?
Oh, it's the drug nuke from RoboCop 2.
Oh fuck.
You guys are talking about all this new fandangled high-tech ways of smoking dope, basically, right? And I feel like
Not really high tech or fandangled, but it's
over
more.
my head. I'm saying that as a joke.
I object to the term
To
dope.
appeal older than I am, but it reminded me of fucking that movie, Nuke.
I just can't believe we're still locking motherfuckers up in 2019 for weed charges. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Mhm.
It's almost over.
They're like political prisoners at this point, man. It's like it's really fucking retarded what's going on.
Wow, I think Seamus said something for the first time in which we all agree.
He's said similar things before, though. There is a reasonable part of Shameless.
Yo, JJ, I was gone. You didn't need me, right?
No, we're good, man.
Cool,
Thanks,
cool.
though. Appreciate it.
But you know, Claire, there are people that are on these like states where it's not legal that are selling some bunk shit that's really low quality and making straight bank hand over fist.
I know. I hate those people.
Yeah, and they're
I
like
operate
really
by
like garbage. If I could show you some of the stuff around here, Claire, you would probably be like, "Wow, they're just straight killing you guys."
we rob those fuckers around here. Like if you're selling garbage weed, the natives will rob you around here.
Why would
Because
they?
usually they're the ones that are being sold the garbage to, and they have very low aggression control.
And
Why
someone
are
told
they?
me, I don't know if this is true, but a lot of the shit we get around here is like, doesn't pass the bubble test, super low quality, and but it like tastes fairly decent. And someone told me that it's probably like more full of terpenes than like anything else. Do you
Yeah.
know what they're talking about when they say that?
Terpenes are the lightest oil in marijuana, and terpenes are where all the flavor of pretty much any plant comes from. So that it could definitely be the case that you can make a bud that smells and tastes good, but has very low THC content because the particular chemicals used to stimulate terpene growth are different than the chemicals used to stimulate THC growth.
Oh, I see. So we've always been led to believe in the past that there's like a really high correlation between the two, but there's not necessarily at all.
No. See, when you're growing, say, hydro, there's going to be 3 different phases where you're fertilizing with different sets of chemicals to produce different qualities in the weed. Your first set's going to be to produce the largest structures, like to create the most plant mass, right? And then your second set is going to be to produce the terpene profile. And then your third set, which is during flowering, is going to be to produce the final THC content. So you can add quite a bit of the appropriate fertilizer mix to in the mid cycle between plant gestation and flowering, where it develops a terpene profile, and still neglect the much more difficult process of balancing the chemicals and the stressors on the plant required to produce a lot of THC. It's much harder to produce a lot of THC than it is a lot of terpenes because it involves not only having the right balance of fertilizers and purging prior to adding them, but you also have to put the plants under stress. Like you have to do things like snap stalks in a particular way that doesn't kill the plant, which is called super cropping, or constantly disturb them with lots of fan air motion, or manipulate temperatures suddenly, because THC itself is a result of its stress response. It's actually a defensive chemical that the plant creates. So to produce a lot of THC in a plant, you have to cause it to be in stress.
Science, bitch.
If you just grow it under ideal conditions without stressing it, you'll hit like a hard line limit of THC of something like 12 to 15. But if you stress it in the correct ways while fertilizing correctly in the flowering cycle, that same plant could produce twice that. And that's where a lot of the art of being a good grower comes in. That's why someone can't just start growing high quality weed overnight. It takes quite a while to learn the exact process, and it changes based on plant genetics. So each strain needs different particular treatment to get the most desirable outcome.
Not
Which is
that difficult to learn.
it's difficult to perfect. I mean, that's like saying painting's not difficult to learn, right? Like, yeah, anyone can paint a shitty picture, but it takes a lot of work to paint a classic.
Efficiency, tricks for efficiency, sure.
No, I'm not talking about tricks for efficiency. I'm talking about tricks for maximization, JJ. There's a
That's
difference
what
between
efficiency
making
is.
no, efficiency would be making the most weed that's serviceable the quickest. Maximization is making
that's not
the
what I meant.
best weed.
Maximizing potential.
And it takes quite a bit of knowledge and experience to maximize the potential of a given.
Yeah, I guess.
That's why growers often run one particular strain from the same mother plant for 10 to 15 years sometimes, is because the longer you grow with that particular strain, the better you're going to be at bringing out its, and the better the outcomes are going to be.
How do you ever know if you've maxed out the plant's potential?
I mean,
I'm not even sure.
I don't think there's a way to really know if you've maxed it out, but if you apply best known standards and keep track from generation to generation and send your weed in for like THC content testing and things like that, you can move in the right direction. You can
It's a
refine it.
mother
I don't know.
plant, they're clones. They're not going to have different genetics.
I'm talking about maximizing within a genetic set, JJ. We're talking
Oh, a
about
set
using.
of gene.
We're talking about using a skill set to refine the outcome of the same genetic set being grown over and over.
Yeah, that's what I was talking.
I noticed that a lot of these big companies out in like California and Colorado that do like vape pens or distill it or whatever you fucking call that shit, they only work with like 4 strains max, and some of them work with even less. They work with just a couple.
It's because of what I just explained. It's much easier to get a good product out of something that you have a lot of experience growing than it is to try and branch out into newer exotic strains that you're not comfortable.
For example, there's a lot of these fake carts out here called like TKO carts, and they're just like you can buy them online and fill them. But there's a real company out in California that they're meant to imitate. And what's interesting is the fake ones come from like a non-legit company that's like putting them out, and they have like 20 something flavors. It's freaking retarded. But the real TKO extracts that works out of California only sells 4 types, period. Only 4 different flavors. They only do that much. And they don't mess with anything else. And then when I looked that up, I thought that was really kind of crazy. Like you can spot it just by that. If you get anything other than those 4, it's scat.
It's fake, yeah. In my experience, the single best cart producer in terms of like industrial scale brand name is, I would definitely probably say Brass Knuckles. Brass Knuckles produces fantastic carts. Not only just the quality of the extract, but the consistency of it, the type of cart structure that they use, like the mechanical soundness of the atomizers. Yeah, Brass Knuckles
sound pretty good. Yeah.
Brass
I
Knuckles
see
are
a couple of these
fantastic.
guys try to do these challenges where they hit like a whole gram vape pen all in one sitting. And most of the people out there in the Cali area and stuff, they only want to do them with the Brass Knuckles because they're all tested. They know they're not, they've got bullshit in them, and they're really, really good.
Yeah, I make my own, but I still get Brass Knuckles for my girlfriend because I like them so well.
How old is she?
That's none of your business.
Oh, okay, Claire. Thought we were on a.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. I'm not going to give out her personal details. She's a little younger than me. It's just a brand of cart, FemFit. They actually use the same they actually use the same brand of carts that I use now, the Eye Crusher series. And I started using them because I was so impressed by how reliable they were from the Brass Knuckles brand.
Are they like just buying up all of the companies as they come onto the market?
What are you asking?
Like the major growers, because that's what I've heard is that it seems like kind of the major growers. I think Canopy was mentioned as one of them, and some others are just buying up all the smaller weed and hemp companies and trying to kind of like own the market, similar to the way beer is structured.
I don't know if that's the case or not. I know that in California specifically, there's a lot of legislation that makes it very difficult for a company to monopolize. There are per person and per organization limits on the number of plants you can use. So what they do there is they just buy up from all the supply from all the growers, but the growers are still technically independent.
Okay, so they just are the ones that sell. They facilitate the wholesale process.
Right.
Yeah.
They sell, distribute, and make the final product from
I'm
the
surrounded
base
by
reagents.
growers up here. Dude, there's
You
one
probably
grower that.
you're within like a half hour of my grow.
Well,
Is
there's
it
one
true that
grove that's next
like
to me
marijuana
that
is California's biggest grown crop right now?
Guess you're just
Well,
gonna Uber talk about me, Seamus.
I was just going to say, it's funny because if you Google Earth over my property, and just like move it up, over the to the left of the ridge where I go up to, you can actually see two of the groves from Google Earth. They're that big.
Did you find
Is it
any
true that the
stray
biggest crop
plants this
grown
year?
in California right now is marijuana, or is that not true?
I don't know if it's biggest by volume because I know the almond industry is almost exclusively out of California, but I'm willing to suspect it's
But
the
by
biggest
revenue.
by revenue. Yeah.
Yeah, revenue,
The
certainly.
upcoming harvest, they're expecting on the books, like in terms of legal license plants, they're expecting 17 million tons of marijuana. And
Mhm.
there's tons of people growing, above their license limit or outside of the licensing process entirely.
Oh,
So
when they get ready to harvest up here, that's all you smell. It's
That sounds
constant.
amazing, to be honest, Molly.
That's all I smell. No, and
I
JJ,
agree.
no, I didn't have any. I did not.
Well, you didn't find it.
I didn't find any this year.
Might not have been any, but not in the same place at least. And
Yeah, and it's not like it's I'm out there trying to. I came across them accidentally when I first came across them, so.
yeah, I still wonder how that got there. If somebody planted
do you
it.
ever snag a couple like mature plants just for your personal?
I did. I smoked them on cam. I smoked them
girl.
here on Discord. The first time I'd
Yeah,
ever
that
smoked
was-
it.
That's awesome.
That was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was funny though.
Well, it's awesome that you decided to do it. That's what I meant.
Can I tell them, Molly, that it's the first time?
Yeah.
You said it.
And only time.
Yes, it
Well,
was.
if I tried to smoke out of a jar for the one time I tried to smoke weed, that would probably be my only time too. That sounds terrible.
Molly
But it
is
tasted
probably
like
the
ass.
most incompetent weed smoker I've ever encountered.
And wait, and pardon my ignorance, but I'm guessing she found some weed just growing on her property.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
she took some of it, and you smoked it before it was cured or anything, or did you go ahead and cure it? Oh, that's why it was
Fucking,
awful.
I don't even know what curing is.
You dry it out.
Drying it for a period of time.
Oh no, I took a pic of it and I asked. I said, "Is this weed?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah." And I said, "Well, what do I do with it?" So you had me carving fucking apples and shit. And...
Yeah, to make
Somebody
a
had her make a
apparatus.
pipe out of an apple.
Yeah.
And she did that.
And then I ate the
And-
apple.
Then she took a bite out of it, so she couldn't smoke out of it anymore. So she put it in the rest of the apple pipe with the weed in it in a jar, and then burned the weed inside the jar and sucked the smoke out. It was so fucking ridiculous.
That's wow. At least you tried. But yeah, it wasn't cured yet, so that's partially the reason why it was probably awful, other than the fact that it was just in a jar.
It seemed to make sense to me at the time. Then for 2 days I smelled like marijuana and olives.
Marijuana and olives.
It was an olive jar.
Oh. That's great.
God damn it! Did I lock my car key in my car?
Of course you did, dummy.
That's too bad.
I'd be so fucking pissed if I.
That's what you want to do, Claire. You stand firmly, kind of perpendicular to the car, and then just elbow the mirror you're trying to get in, the window you're trying to get in through. Terminator does it all the time.
Oh, I thought I had a pic of the jar, but I think it's on my old phone.
I'd probably use the butt of a knife to spare my elbow.
Well, yeah. I wasn't really.
I know
hoping.
I have a pic of that jar.
Michael has it, I think.
All my pictures are gone, pretty much, except for the few I have saved on my computer.
XD.
Fuck you very much, Task Force.
That sucks.
You think after a certain number of phones, they would just stop taking my phone? Because every time it's fucking bricked. I suppose they'll take it just to spite me, though. Because it's inconvenient.
They'll take it because they're all operating under the assumption that you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's no effort for them to go, give me your fucking phone, right? So, why not?
It's the masked man fallacy.
Oh, boy.
It's
Is that a logical or informal fallacy?
I have no idea.
Me neither. It's logical.
Well, I mean, I don't know even what the masked man fallacy is.
It's illogical, sir.
Maybe it's the gambler's fallacy.
It seems so just nebulous.
Masked Man?
All I remember about Masked Man fallacy is Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah, it's an illicit use of Leibniz.
Oh. Ben is not still here, right?
What were you guys just talking about? The masked man fallacy or something?
It was mentioned, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds cool.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe I deleted that pic of the.
Well, I mean, you might
jar.
not know what it is by name, but you would know instinctively that there's a problem if someone
Right.
were to like explain to you the.
Has anything interesting happened in the news today?
Who is this Rise person?
Rise.
New member of our server. She's a
Do you
nice
have it,
girl.
JJ?
She studied philosophy and other things in college, and is interesting to talk to. Rise, this is Orson. He's from the UK.
Hi,
He's a smart guy
Orson.
too.
Yes, Molly. I have
Did
the
you just
picture
say that
somewhere.
she's smart or studied something? You're gonna need to add the words
Probably.
allegedly to all of those statements.
Oh, that's true. Allegedly.
I studied accounting and finance.
Because the majors she claimed to have aren't actual majors, and she doesn't
they
know
are.
basic facts about life. So I'm really
My
incredulous about
majors are a BS is in accounting and finance. That's not an alleged major. I'm not sure where you're from.
finance isn't a major.
So you've already graduated.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are? Because I thought you might have been kind of young, in your like 19 or 20.
Yeah, I'm 24.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not much. That's not much higher then.
That's
So
consistent.
What did you
you
dye
just
your
graduated not too long
eyebrows
ago.
blonde?
Then.
Yeah, I dyed my hair
Yeah, no, I'm checking with the eyebrows. Why'd you dye this blonde?
to match my hair.
Why?
I think it looks good.
It's good.
I think it looks like garbage.
Okay, well, I disagree with you, and I think that my opinion matters.
Can I get a picture?
That has been already passed around as
Is
of
it in member
yesterday, thanks to the
pictures?
lovely goddess.
No.
So sorry. Yeah, no, I haven't posted a picture. Another picture that there was someone who did a video chat with me and then decided to post it.
Yeah, don't post another
Godless did a video chat, took a screen capture, and then posted it.
Like, I mean, you guys have already seen me. I can post like JJ. I can post that picture that I had sent you.
You're not
or
obligated, and I like to keep those pictures to myself.
I bet.
Well, are you keeping my my olive jar pic to yourself? Or are you gonna post that so I can save it on my phone?
I'll get
found
it
my
to
key.
you. I don't know where it is. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I have
I was
it.
worried about
I'm
that.
sure I have it, Molly. I think it's on my laptop, which is
Just
defunct at the moment.
just DM Michael for it, Molly. Michael probably has it.
I'm only
Yeah.
borderline retarded.
I'm
I swear.
sure he does.
In your
Borderline gay-tarded.
Yeah, Claire, where was your key?
In my laundry basket for some reason.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, I think he's in what is it, Haven, but I don't have access to Haven, so I can't go visit him there.
Is that unholy?
Yeah.
Why is
Oh,
Michael being a bitch?
Yeah, and so like anyone who doesn't think I have an accounting and finance degree, I'm fine to have a debate with you on economics. So
Ooh, that's gonna happen. Guaranteed.
All right, Claire. You're
No
up.
hurry. No, that doesn't sound like fun right now, though.
JJ ends up with
What?
all these rare pics of these girls on the server. I don't understand how that happens, you know?
What?
And like I used to
Because
like
he
hook
tricks
JJ
them.
up with JJ up with some of my own private pictures of like shit I had like copped on my
Like
own and stuff.
what?
I just realized, what do you mean like what? You're acting like I've never fucking shared anything with you, any pictures and shit. I've shared a lot of fucking pictures with you. But
Two pictures that I didn't have. Two,
But
Shamos.
no, and then I got a bunch of Layla rares, and I never shared them with JJ because I was like, fuck
Layla
it.
rares, the rarest.
I think that that's true, that you do have a couple Layla rares that I don't.
No, I have like six
But
of
I'm
the
not
gnarliest.
interested. Well,
I have
maybe
six of
it's
the gnarliest Layla pictures that ever
I'm
exist, and
probably
the only
not
person that has
interested.
them are Tom. Well, you want me to describe you the scenario in which we got the pictures?
No. Well,
Okay.
maybe.
She was at the gym and she turned her
Didn't roll
phone
point.
on and she was trying to talk to Dio and he was like, yo, talking a bunch of shit. And he was like, I can't hear you, Layla. Get closer to the phone. And when she did, she leaned all the way down. It's like full blown freaking
Yeah, you're
cleavage.
talking about a video call that I was in.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I bet you so you got the same ones, huh? Fuck you,
Layla
JJ.
rares.
Piece of shit.
Well, it wouldn't be necessarily the same ones. It would be something very similar, though, wouldn't it?
Bro, I got so many pictures on my camera roll. I get like
I mean, you're
6 or
talking
7.
about stills.
I get 6 or 7
It
flicks
was
down
a
my
video
camera roll
call.
trying to upload a photo, and then it just crashes Discord completely.
Oh, that's not good.
But by the way, does this sound any better than it was before?
No.
No, not at all.
What? Maybe
No.
very slightly. What's different, Rise?
Yeah, I put in the headphones this time. That's
Oh, that is good.
yeah. I figured it would be a little bit better at least, but
Well, we
I
don't.
guess it's not any better.
You sound
We don't hear
you
any.
sound like you're still a little stuffed up though.
We don't hear any crazy feedback, so that's definitely an
Yeah.
improvement versus the other day.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit stuffed up, but like I just want to make sure I'm not giving like feedback or like bad stuff in terms of like tech.
The text chat.
Now, if you want to improve the health of your nose, you're going to want to follow the Coke with water as a change.
Excuse me?
You excuse.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not even gonna address that comment. It's pretty ridiculous.
Wait,
so-
someone
That
said
was good advice, creature.
someone said Sugar got fat. He doesn't look fat there.
He's pudgy. He's got a thick layer. Fat.
No, he's fine. If that's him currently.
Well, did you watch
that's what I'm
the
saying,
live
that's what I'm
AMA?
saying.
No, I haven't.
Is that an old picture or is that a new
That is
picture?
an old
Sugar.
picture, dude.
Sugar.
No.
Sugar,
That's
take a picture
old
with the sign. Take a picture with the sign and verify.
We just saw you on camera, dude, the other day, and you're down like 20% body fat. Fuck off.
Not true at all. You're a fucking liar. You literally are lying.
Literally.
We can pull up the video from Sugar
On my
or any
Snapchat
picture
right
of his
now.
body.
On my Snapchat and Instagram.
We're not on your Snapchat, so that means nothing.
Well, it's just ridiculous. That's what I'm just saying. It's the ridiculousness. These fucking haters. I mean, yeah, I'm doing a particular pose that makes me look like a little slimmer there, but that's me.
6 months ago.
No, fucking now. This is my hat. This is my summer hat I was wearing.
Take a picture with a sign and no shirt on, or stop lying.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right.
Well, no problem. Where
What's
are
funny
you?
is Sugar gets so hurt because his looks is like the only thing that's going for him in the server.
That's
the only thing
not
that's going for him
true.
anywhere.
That's so mean.
I spelled
Orson.
lifeguard wrong. I have to like fix that. That sucks.
I mean, I was surprised that you spelled ready correctly. So
Sugar has lots to offer this server.
False.
Right.
True.
Oh dear.
why
Well,
why does she enjoy lying so much? She just
well,
lies. to
no,
everyone.
that's just her perception. People are entitled to
No,
them.
don't blame Layla. She likes to encourage Lil's cows.
Actually,
She's doing the server a service.
How do you spell lifeguard? Jesus Christ.
Nobody knows. Orson, did you get
don't
your
know.
your stomach bulge fixed or what?
No, it's still there.
You got a hernia, Orson?
I have a tiny little hernia, yeah. I think.
Tiny little hernia.
If I went to the
Jesus,
doctors,
dude.
they'd just say, yeah, watch the symptoms.
How do you know that?
Just do like I did with my ruined butthole. Push it back in and hope.
I do push it back in. And I am hoping.
Don't forget to hope. All right. I seem to be all better, so that method seems effective.
Sugar, do you meditate every day?
Yes. How did you get that impression? What gives you that impression?
Is sugar poison?
Why do you think that I would meditate every day? Where do you get that impression?
Is sugar poison?
We're living in a society where the latest stuff says 60% of Americans are fat, and like 50. It's staggering. It's
Are
staggering.
you included in that group?
We're literally. I mean, it's just like a fat It's
It's
like a
worse
zombie.
than
It's like a fat zombie apocalypse going on.
So, what's the inference
And
that
no
takes you
one
from
seems to
50% of
care.
people
No
is
one
fat
seems to give a
to
shit.
sugar is poison?
It's fat apocalypse.
Can you explain the chain of logic to us? How you go from 50% of people are fat to sugar is poison?
No. It's like 60% are fat. It's like 45%.
That's not the pertinent part of this
No,
question, all
it's
right?
7 days.
Answer the goddamn question.
Sugar doesn't know.
Question was.
The question is, how do you go from 60% of America is fat to sugar is poison?
There's a
What?
chain
Okay,
of logical...
everybody knows that the reason we have this obesity epidemic is because of processed carbohydrates, which become glucose sugar, and because of carbs, which become glucose sugar, and because of just sugar in general. Fucking
That's not
tons of
necessarily
sugar. It's
true.
just dumped in
No,
everything.
it's not. I
And
dispute
because of the
that.
high corn, and because of the high fructose corn syrup. And if you just don't know that,
Even
you're
if we were to
Everybody
even if we were to grant all of that, then that would just say that there's an overconsumption of sugar, and that would make sugar poison. It means that there's a limit to how much you can process.
Yeah, it's because people can't like fucking count their calories. That literally is the reason.
Listen,
Can't count that high.
also scientifically proven. It's not about calorie counting. It's about
It's an education problem.
Sugar.
If you balance your
Sugar.
calories,
Hold on.
it will work.
Can I please have this?
I gotta be right
none
back.
of you guys
I'll be
are
right
being
back.
interesting. Oh yeah, run you little bitch. What about you? Fuck.
Is Sugar aware of the fuck, I forget what it's called, but it's like a radical weight loss diet that was developed in like the 50s. It's literally just like white rice and sugar.
You
No,
can
I've
eat
never heard of
anything,
that.
Pretty much.
I haven't.
I've heard of it.
It's
you can eat pretty much anything if it's in the right quantities, and you
yeah,
eat it
it was
frequently enough in small
developed for like the few morbidly obese people that were around at the time when it was actually treated like, you know, like an illness. It's just they only consumed like 500 calories of that.
The reason for that probably is because that leaves all of your what's it called? What comes out of the gallbladder?
Gall, right? No, bile, right?
Oh, yeah, bile. Well, bile is what digests both meat and fat, right? So if you were only eating sugar and carbohydrates, that would leave all of the word that you just said that I can't retain because it's long.
Bile.
That would leave all that free to be used in the metabolization of body fat. So it might work, actually.
Well, I
Bile
mean,
is
you
what
eat,
breaks
you
down
eat
body
500
fat.
calories a day, you're not going to be able to have enough energy like during the day to overcome that. So you're going to have to burn energy.
Well,
And so then that means you lose weight. And so as your weight goes
Right.
down, the amount you need each day goes down. Yeah, it changes,
but there's certain
basically
things that you can do to maximize that effect. And I'm
of
thinking that
course.
by excluding all meat and fat from the diet, it allows a slightly higher rate of metabolism of body fat specifically than if you were to just take 500 calories of whatever instead of 500 calories of no meat or fat.
Well,
I have a feeling
whatever you
Rise
do.
knows a lot about this.
Well, she
Whatever
is
you do.
exceptionally skinny, so
I feel like I know the topic well.
Yeah, I mean it's like the law of thermodynamics. It's like I don't understand why people can't seem to wrap their head around the fact that the amount that they burn has to be more than the amount that they consume. Like that's a pretty simple thing
yeah,
to understand.
hold on.
There's
So
well, no one's
we-
confused about that. The
Yeah,
funny
no one's
thing about
yeah.
this conversation is that sugar thinks sugar is poison, when in fact sugar is necessary for your blood to keep you alive.
And you can
it's
actually consume.
fundamental to ATP creation, which is the fuel for every cell in your body. So if you had no sugar whatsoever, you would literally die.
You can actually consume more calories than you burn and still lose weight. Just thought I'd get that out there.
Depending on the composition and how efficient you are at metabolizing and things like that.
Yeah, it would have to do with the metabolization. I
Right.
mean, it would have to do with the way that your
That's
body
about-
processes the
It's
food.
about absorbing. Like, not all the calories get absorbed.
That's
Yeah,
what we
but
were
if
talking
all-
about with the bile thing, because that's a trick of controlling how you metabolize things.
Well,
Yeah, but my point is if you
Rise is just
metabolize
pointing to a closed system, like thermodynamics.
Well, we are
Yeah,
a
but
closed
the-
system. We're just a
So
complicated
she says
closed system.
calories in minus calories out equals surplus.
Calories don't matter. It's the type of foods you're eating.
Shut
Shut up,
up.
sugar.
No.
You don't know
Basically, though,
anything.
like, even
This
if
is
you were
like
to
the
take
most
it one-
retarded thing a person could possibly say about fucking food. People who say this need to be fucking
No,
shot.
yeah.
Sugar.
You need to
Sugar,
wake
hold
up,
on.
man. You
I have a
sound bad.
question. No, I have a question, Sugar, real quick. If that case is true, how come there's like that well-known nutritionist who did the Hostess diet for a month, and he only ate Hostess products at a caloric deficit for an entire month? And as a matter of fact, his blood levels and enzymes and hormones, all that stuff, were actually improved at the end of that because he was actually eating overall less calories. So how would you explain that?
Fasting has a lot of benefits on the body for sure, but
How is eating Hostess cakes?
He wasn't fasting. He wasn't fasting. He was just
fasting.
Okay, I'm not
No.
saying that it's necessarily good for your body to eat a bunch of junk food. All I'm saying is that if you consume less calories than you burn off, and you metabolize less calories than you burn off, you will lose weight. If you eat a food and you don't metabolize all the calories, great, then you'll lose even more weight. But
Well,
if you eat a food, you metabolize all the calories, then you'll still
It's not
lose
only
weight
that,
if you
There's
burn
all
by the
kinds
way.
of other factors.
Like, I wouldn't say weight.
You can
Okay, sorry,
manipulate how
that was a bad term. I meant you'll burn
Mass.
fuel for
You
fat.
will lose mass.
you can
Okay, oh
you
my
can
God.
manipulate how
Jesus
you metabolize foods too. Like, does is it makes your cells extremely inefficient at converting macronutrients into micronutrients. So you can eat, let's say 2,000 calories a day, but you'll waste so much of them in the inefficiency of the conversion process of your micrometabolism that it'll be like you're only eating 1,000 calories a day.
Okay, then you'll just lose even more weight that way. Like I'm saying that you wouldn't.
Achieve similar effects by
if you limit your
manipulating
calories.
other elements of metabolism. Hey, did you not hear me talking? Did I seem done? Go ahead. I'm sure it's super fucking important. Go ahead.
I think you might have lagged.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that Sugar in a picture in the chat? He's got gyno.
Yes, that's that's why I know that picture that he's referencing right now is impossible because he somehow lost like 20% body weight.
I didn't at all. Oh,
Vagina.
this drives me up the fucking wall. This drives me up the wall.
You've got boobs now.
What do you mean? I always had buff muscles.
No, boobs.
That's
you can
not buff
lactate.
muscles.
You go.
Yeah, those are tits.
What do you mean? In the picture I
Listen,
posted?
Bitch,
Sugar,
please. If you think those are muscles, you are absolutely retarded. Those are flat
Sugar,
titties.
I've had both fucking tits and pecs in my life, and I'm telling you right now, that is at least half.
Bench press. I literally went and did bench press like one day, and now look at me. Yoked.
Oh, one day and it made it all better.